So this is following up with the video I just posted about looking for that magical spot for my quest for Boone and Crockett 150-inch deer. I have found that magical spot straight behind me, and as luck would have it, that is running due north. Okay, over to this side is a hard cutover that was cut 4 years ago, so 3 to 4 years ago. It's extremely thick. It was planted in pine trees. Deer may be bedding in there, however, it's extremely thick. And I personally, around here, deer aren't going to bed in just the thickest of thick briars because they can bed in stuff like this, which is, while it's still thick, too thick to see over 25 yards. It gives them the comfort, the ability to be able to view what's coming up behind them where they're laying. Now, they will go through the thicket. They will bed in the bad stuff. But a deer by nature is, I consider them to be lazy animals. They will take the path of least resistance as long as there's not a ton of hunting pressure on them. So behind me, and also over to my east, 60 yards is a swamp. It's a beaver pond. Right now it's drying up. Spring, we haven't had a lot of rain this spring, so the spring rain doesn't have it completely filled up. It's pretty boggy though, and you would need chest waders in places to cross it. So I'm counting on that to help funnel the deer on that side of me. The cutover to help funnel the deer on the west side of me. So I've got this little strip that's no more than 100 yards wide. It's not beautiful, but it's where the bucks will be. And I'll envision having a camera due north where I'm at. I'll have my blind tucked away somewhere in this little clump of holly trees. I'll be looking at a 30-yard shot at most. I will only hunt this spot when the wind is out of the north, blowing it back the way I'm going to be walking in. I've got a decent little trail walking in that I can tiptoe in. I'm not having to walk through the cutover. I'm not having to trudge through the swamp. I think I can tiptoe in, hunt in a blind right here, sealed up tight with a crack in a window, just so I can view out of it. And whenever a deer shows up, then I can lower it down just a hair, enough to get my bow and make a shot out of. So this is, a lot of people ask me how do I find buck beds. Well, for one, I know that this is an existing buck bed, so knowing the land, having some history there, that helps a lot. But I'm also relying on the cutover and the swamp to funnel the deer right through this little area. It's shady, it's nice and cool on this quite warm end of May day here in South Arkansas. Mosquitoes are terrible. Ground blind is going to be crucial in this area because they have the screen mesh on them, or the ones I use do. And I don't like to shoot a bow through the screen mesh, even though some of them advertise you can. That's a factor I don't want to have to, rely on. So what I will do is I will keep the mesh up until my target buck shows up. I will lower it down, and I'll make my shot, and hopefully he won't go too far at all. But this is what I was looking for. So mission accomplished today. I hope I shed some light on some buck bedding areas here in the South Arkansas. It can be challenging because we're super thick, very little agriculture, very little food plot. I mean, this is a 20-year-old cutover, so all the people that are wanting to hunt, heavy oak bottoms, we don't have that many of those around here anymore. Most of them have been cut. Most of them have been planted in pine trees. Pine trees flourish here. So deer are in here eating like goats, what kind of greenery they can find. I will have feed there. A lot of people don't like to hunt over bait. Here in Arkansas, it's legal. And absolutely I will. I have no problem doing that at all. I used to be hardcore and think I'm not hunting over corn. Well, that mindset has left me, and now I do hunt over corn, bait, whatever. If it's a supplemental feed, I will get a camera in here within the month. The bucks are starting to grow their horns here. I had a buck with new growth on his head in April 1st, so we're already 2 months into the antler growing season. I do expect to have a shooter buck in here this year that I want. Now, I had him last year on camera, and I never even hunted him in here. I didn't feel like he was one I really wanted yet. I felt like he was safe in a good area where he could survive to the next year. I think this year he is going to be, I'm going to say 4.5, if not 5.5 years old. And I think he's probably going to be as mature as what I would like to see. He's not real wide. He's tall. He should have decent mass this year based on last year's rack. He may not grow a whole lot this year. Time will tell, but this is where I will be hunting if I actually hunt this area. Hands down, this is the spot to be. And with our winds in this area predominantly out of the north, it's a no-brainer. I can tiptoe in. My vantage point, accessing this spot is going to be very great. It's going to be very crucial. I will only hunt it out of the when the wind is blowing out of the north. Southerly wind, east-west wind, nope. Don't even think about it. I don't care if that buck is, I don't care if he beds up right there in front of where I'm going to put a camera. I'm not going to come hunt him until I have a north wind, because if I do, the odds are way in his favor, and all I'm going to do is educate him. You know, there may be a 1% chance that I actually get him that method. I'd rather spend my time chasing one in another spot where the wind is in my favor than one here that more than likely all I'm going to do is educate him. And I won't see him probably, because if the wind is anything out of the north, he's going to smell me. I don't care how scent free you get. I quit eating meat when I'm after a particular buck because I want my body to put off a smell of a prey versus a predator. 2 years ago, I did that for 85 days straight. I wouldn't even eat a imitation bacon bit. Lots of pastas and salads and vegetables. And I got my target buck on opening day. A very nice 12 point. One I'd been after for a couple of years. Got him on opening day. First time I hunted him that season. Wind was in my favor. On that particular setup, I needed a south wind, and I got it that morning. So, I just wanted to show this is the magical spot. Doesn't look like much, but I have all confidence in the world that this is going to produce a buck that I'm wanting. And if not, I'm just going to enjoy the morning that God give me. Peace out. Like and subscribe.